Have you ever sat quietly in your room, looked around and realized there's no more clinking of dishes, no one asking if you've eaten, no sound of footsteps rushing through the hallway like before? At first, that silence may seem pleasant, a reward after so many years of living for others. But then, it starts to echo. And instead of peace, you begin to feel as if you're slowly being pulled away from the rhythm of life. A friend of mine, Joanne, 77 years old, living in Idaho, once shared, "I'm not afraid of dying as much as I am of being forgotten while still alive." That sentence left me speechless for a long time, because perhaps no one is truly prepared for the moment when you grow older, and the world around you quietly retreats from the circle of your life. But if you're going through that, know this: you are not alone. Many people are feeling exactly the same. And the beautiful truth is, we can still choose to live differently. Because aging does not mean it's over. Sometimes it's an invitation to begin a more profound journey, a journey back to yourself, to what truly matters. In this video, I will walk with you through small, very small things that can help you truly live each moment of your day. Even if you're living alone, even if your home is quiet, even if the phone rings less often, you can still live a life full of value, warmth, and purpose. We're not going to talk about how to fight aging, but about how to embrace it with love and intention, because you deserve that, because life is still here waiting for you to step out and fully live each moment. Have you ever sat quietly in your room, looked around and realized there's no more clinking of dishes, no one asking if you've eaten, no sound of footsteps rushing through the hallway like before? At first, that silence may seem pleasant, a reward after so many years of living for others. But then, it starts to echo, and instead of peace, you begin to feel as if you're slowly being pulled away from the rhythm of life. A friend of mine, Joanne, 77 years old, living in Idaho, once shared, "I'm not afraid of dying as much as I am of being forgotten while still alive." That sentence left me speechless for a long time, because perhaps no one is truly prepared for the moment when you grow older and the world around you quietly retreats from the circle of your life. But if you're going through that, know this: you are not alone. Many people are feeling exactly the same. And the beautiful truth is, we can still choose to live differently. Because aging does not mean it's over. Sometimes, it's an invitation to begin a more profound journey, a journey back to yourself, to what truly matters. In this video, I will walk with you through small, very small things that can help you truly live each moment of your day. Even if you're living alone, even if your home is quiet, even if the phone rings less often, you can still live a life full of value, warmth, and purpose. Now, we're not going to talk about how to fight aging, but about how to embrace it with love and intention, because you deserve that, because life is still here, waiting for you to step out and fully live each moment. Part 2. Refreshing your living space to nurture the spirit. Once you've established a steady rhythm in your daily life, the next step is to look at the space you're living in. Because the environment around us, though inanimate, always quietly affects our mood. There are homes that look beautiful but feel cold. There are rooms filled with light but empty of warmth. And then there are small, worn-out corners that somehow make us feel comforted, that we belong. The real question is, the home you live in right now, is it breathing life into you, or is it slowly draining your spirit each day? Dorothy, 76, from North Carolina, shared that after her husband passed away, she more or less let everything in her little house fall into neglect. The old curtains stayed the same. The dining table still had 2 chairs, one for her, one for him. The bedroom remained shut because she couldn't bear the silence where his familiar snoring used to be. "I was afraid that if I changed anything, I'd forget him," she said. But one day, her granddaughter came to visit, pulled open the curtains, opened the window, and simply said, "Grandma, light doesn't make us forget the ones we lost. It just helps us keep living." The next day, Dorothy replaced the curtains herself, bought a few potted plants for the porch, and started playing soft jazz every morning, the kind both she and her husband used to love. You don't need to spend a lot or renovate everything. Just clearing out a cabinet, wiping the dust off an old photo frame, opening a window to let sunlight in, or placing a vase of fresh flowers. Those small acts alone can bring back the feeling that this is not just a place to exist, but a place to live. Every object, every scent, every note of music, if chosen with care, can become a quiet companion, helping you move through loneliness. Because sometimes, what we need isn't a new house, but a new way to love the one we're already in. Part 3. Keep moving, because your body still has so much to give. Once your living space has been refreshed, you may begin to feel something more clearly. Your body, though aged, still holds quiet capabilities waiting to be awakened. And one of the clearest ways to feel truly alive again is through movement. Doesn't have to be complex workouts, no jogging or gym sessions required, simply standing up, stretching your arms, walking a few loops around the house, or cooking yourself a meal. That alone is enough to awaken the precious life energy that's been quietly dozing in your body. Richard, 80 from Seattle, was once a long-haul truck driver. After retiring, he got used to spending his days in an armchair, watching TV from morning till night. I thought, I'm old now. Resting is what I should do, he said. But one day, after a checkup, the doctor gently said, your body is still strong if you'll just get up every day. That simple sentence was like a wake-up call. The next day, Richard took a few slow steps around the garden. After a week, he was doing 2 full laps. A month later, he was walking his dog every morning. And after 3 months, he said he felt like he was coming back to life. Movement is a gift you can give yourself every day. It's how your blood circulates, how your knees stay alert, how your heart feels the rhythm of a life still moving forward. And most importantly, when you move, you're not just nourishing your body, you're sending yourself a powerful message. I still matter. I still can. If today you manage to get up from your chair 3 times, that's already amazing. Try for 4 tomorrow. No one is asking you to run. Just don't stop. Part 4. Reach out, because others need you just as much as you need them. Once you've created a gentle rhythm for your life, once you've gotten back on your feet and started moving again, the next step, and a very important one, is connection. Not everyone finds it easy to open up, especially when they've grown used to quiet afternoons filled only with the ticking clock and sunlight pouring into a silent room. But the truth is, you are not alone in your loneliness. There are many others out there, grandparents, retirees, those who've gone through loss just like you, who are also sitting in silence longing for a simple hello, a phone call, or even just a message that says, I miss you. Joan, 76, from Ohio, had been living alone since her husband passed away 5 years ago. Every day, she gardened, read books, but couldn't shake the emptiness that crept in by day's end. One day, she decided to email an old friend from church. Just a simple line, "How have you been? I miss you." To her surprise, she received a long, heartfelt reply, and from that day forward, they spoke on the phone every week. Her life was no longer as quiet as before. We often wait for others to make the first move, but the truth is, they may be waiting for you too. A thoughtful check-in, an invitation for a walk, a decision to join a local painting class. These are all small doors that can lead to meaningful connection. And sometimes, it's you who holds the key to unlock that door. If you've made it this far in the video, share in the comments. Have you reached out to someone recently, or is there someone you've been wanting to reconnect with, but haven't found the words yet? Your message might just inspire someone else to do the same. Because we weren't meant to live in isolation. A hello, a smile, a gentle hand to hold might seem small, but for someone silently battling loneliness, it could be the beginning of hope. Part 5. Learning to listen and heal from within. Talk to yourself like a true friend. After the phone calls, the visits, and the social connections, we always return to ourselves. And in that moment of stillness, do you know what matters most? It's how you talk to yourself. Have you ever noticed whether the voice inside your head is a kind friend or a harsh critic? Does it constantly remind you of past regrets, mistakes, or that silent loneliness? Charles, 79, from Oregon, once shared in a community support group, I can sit for hours without speaking to anyone, but the voice in my head never stops. It keeps telling me what I did wrong, what I missed, who left me behind. Until one day, I learned to interrupt it and say back, "That's enough. I'm still here. I still deserve to live gently with myself." Self-compassion is not weakness, it is strength. It's the courage to look at yourself and say, "I've been through so much. I deserve peace." Start small. Write a short journal entry in the morning. Jot down a few lines of gratitude each night, or simply place your hand on your chest and take a few deep breaths. As a reminder to your body, I am still alive. And if you've heard that inner voice say things like, "You don't matter anymore," or "It's too late to start over," try replacing it with something simple. I'm still here, and I can still begin again. If these words resonate with you, leave a comment saying, "I'm learning to be kind to myself every day." Who knows, your message might be the exact encouragement someone else needs in their quietest, most difficult moment. Because when you learn to become your own best friend, you are never truly alone. Part 6. Caring for something to nurture life within yourself. There's something quietly profound that many elderly people have experienced. The longer you live alone, the easier it becomes to forget the feeling of being needed by someone or by something. And that feeling, when left unchecked, can slowly drain the life from inside us, silently, without warning. But there's a gentle way to reignite that sense of connection by taking care of something outside of yourself. Eleanor, 82, living in rural Vermont, once slipped into mild depression after losing her husband and seeing less and less of her children and grandchildren. Each day, she shuffled through her old house, not bothering to clean, cook, or step outside. Until one day, a neighbor brought her a small orchid with a simple note: "Just water it every day, so you'll remember that something is still blooming because of you." It was just an orchid, but Eleanor began waking up earlier to water it. After a few weeks, she started tending a small vegetable garden. Then she took in a stray cat that wandered into her yard, and slowly, her house filled with sounds, sunlight, life. And Eleanor? She found a reason to get out of bed each morning. You don't need much. Just a potted plant by a sunny window, a small dog, a watering can for your morning flowers, or a homemade treat brought to an older neighbor. Any of these can make your heart feel needed again. Because when you care for another living thing, a small space, or even someone who just needs to be heard, you're also caring for the human part of yourself. If you're living alone and feeling empty, start by asking, "What can I care for today, outside of myself, that might bring a little life back into the space around me?" You might find that answer leads you to a beautiful new path. And if you already have a cat, an orchid, or a morning watering ritual, share it with us in the comments below. Your story might just inspire someone else to begin again with something small and meaningful. Part 7. Rediscovering Simple Joys, 4 times Dismal Fate. David Hume. Part 7. Reasons to be celebrate. Reasons to be celebrate. Part 7. The revolution of labor without release. One of the easiest things to forget when living alone is laughter. Not because life runs out of funny moments, but because when there's no one to share them with, we start to believe laughter is a luxury. But the truth is, laughter is one of the simplest and most powerful forms of healing, especially for a soul that feels lonely. Harold, 76, has been living alone since his wife passed. He was once the cheerful, outgoing one at community gatherings, but over time, meals grew quiet, the house felt emptier, and laughter slowly faded away. One day, his granddaughter sent him a funny YouTube video with a note. "I bet you'll laugh out loud at this," and she was right. Harold did laugh. For the first time in months, he laughed out loud. After that, he started watching the shows he used to love. He looked up old comedy skits. He wrote down funny stories from his life and read them back to himself. He didn't just laugh, he came back to life. You see, laughter doesn't need an audience. It just needs a heart open enough to welcome joy, even the smallest kind. A funny movie, a lighthearted comic book, a song with a beat that makes you tap your foot. These can all be your laughter medicine, and you deserve every dose. Don't wait for someone else to bring you joy. Be the one who rekindles it for yourself. Because a senior who still finds small joys is still young at heart. And if you have a movie, a book, or a memory that makes you smile whenever you think of it, please share it with us in the comments. Who knows? You might be the one to bring laughter back to another heart that's been quiet for too long. Part 8. Giving, filling the emptiness with warmth and meaning. When life becomes quieter, when the home no longer echoes with laughter or hurried footsteps, the only thing that can truly fill the emptiness isn't busyness, but meaning. And sometimes, that meaning comes from something that may seem counterintuitive: giving. You might think, I'm old now, what do I have left to give? But the truth is, you still have so much: time, experience, patience, compassion, and a heart full of love. Remember, the hands that once raised children, cooked for a family, held a partner's hand in times of weakness, those hands can still care for the world around you, even through the smallest acts. Esther, 81, from North Carolina, once felt useless after retiring. One day, she decided to write a few birthday cards to send to the local orphanage. No one asked her to do it. She simply thought, I can't go there, but maybe I can bring a little joy to someone. A month later, she received a handwritten letter. Thank you for remembering me. You're the first person who's ever given me a birthday card. Esther cried. For the first time in years, she didn't feel alone. You see, when we give, we're creating invisible but deeply meaningful threads of connection to the world. You might hold a child's hand as they cross the street. You might deliver a meal to a neighbor who lives alone, or simply call an old friend and say, I was thinking of you. These small yet powerful acts are the miracles that warm your heart. And surprisingly, what you give away often returns to you just when you need it most. If today you can still laugh, still step outside, still listen, then you can still love and you can still give. Because life doesn't end when we start living alone. It simply turns to a new chapter, one where every kind gesture, every caring glance becomes a stroke of the pen in a life story filled with meaning. If you're still with us at this point, perhaps there's a quiet feeling in your heart, one that many people over 65 silently carry. That sense of emptiness when others slowly drift away, when the house suddenly feels too large, when no one asks how you're really doing anymore. But you know what? It is you, not anyone else, who holds the key to transform that stillness into a space of healing. Life doesn't stop just because you live alone. In fact, this might be the very moment life invites you to return to yourself, to begin living with a different rhythm, slower, deeper, more real. You can still write poetry. You can still retell your memories. You can still laugh out loud when a little bird lands on your windowsill. And most of all, you can still give love, even if it's just a smile to the mail carrier or a kind word to a stranger who might be just as lonely as you. You don't need anyone to declare your worth, because you, in every heartbeat, in every small choice you make each day, are already proving that you live meaningfully, that you are still worthy of love, and that you can still bring light to others. And if today your heart feels a little heavy, leave a comment below. Let us know that you're here and that you want to be heard. Because Senior Life 365 isn't just another information channel. This is a spiritual home for those who refuse to grow old in silence. Every comment, every shared story is a companion you've never met before. Click subscribe if you feel today's message spoke to something deep inside you. Share this video with someone you know who might be feeling empty. Who knows, your small act today might warm an entire winter in someone else's heart. Growing old is not the end. It's a gentler melody, a space where you're finally allowed to slow down, to see yourself clearly, and to reconnect with what matters most. And dear friend, you've never been the only one who feels this way. We're here, with you, every day.